Hey! Issuing an HTTP request is fraught with peril. It could generate anything from a 404 not found error to a 403 forbidden permission issue to the dreaded 500 internal server error. In this video, we examine how to handle HTTP errors when using the rxResource API. Let's take a look. I'm in StackBlitz with my simple demo application open. If I reload the application, we see the loading indicator. Then the elements appear. The select box is populated with Star Wars vehicles. Here is the vehicle service. We're using the Star Wars API, or SWAPI, to retrieve a list of vehicles for our selection dropdown. Scrolling down, we declare the resource here. In the rxResource loader function, we issue the HTTP request and map the results. The delay is only for use during development to slow down our data retrieval so we can see our loading indicator. rxResource returns a resourceRef, in this case, a resourceRef of vehicle array. This vehicle signals is initially an empty array. When the data is returned from the HTTP request, the resourceRef provides the retrieved data in its value signal, and the vehicles signal then contains the array of vehicles. If you are new to rxResource, check out my video, First Look at Angular's new resource and rxResource. And for a walkthrough of this vehicle service code, see the video, Signals in Action, Building an App. As I said earlier, HTTP requests can generate errors. But we have no error handling here. Let's fix that. The resourceRef offers several properties. We use the isLoading property here to display the loading indicator. If I move my cursor just after the dot and press Control-Space in StackBlitz or in VS Code, we see the resourceRef members. It has an error property. Let's use that. Since our vehicles resource is private, we expose the error by defining our own error signal. Error equals this.vehiclesResource.error. Hovering over error, we see that it is a signal of type unknown. Unknown? That's not very nice. Hopefully the Angular team will improve the typing of this in a future release. Open the browser console to see any messages and clear the console. Now we just need our HTTP request to generate an error. I'll add some extra characters to the end of the URL. That did it! We now have a 404 not found error. Is our error property being set? Because the error property is a signal, we can log it using an effect. I'll paste that in. Reload the browser. In the console, we see the error property is initially undefined. After the HTTP request is issued, the error contains the HTTP error response. Nice! But we don't want to display all of that to the user. Instead, we want to craft a user-friendly error message. Let's write a function for that. I'll close the browser console for more space. Open Explorer and add a new file to the app folder. I'll name it error-message.ts. It's a bit long, so I'll paste the code and we can talk through it. I'll close Explorer so we can better see the code. I named the function setErrorMessage. It takes in the error, which is of type HTTP error response. It optionally takes in a name to use when referring to that data. That makes the error message a bit more specific. If an error was generated, we first check whether we have a client-side or network error, or whether the backend returned an unsuccessful HTTP response. In that case, we use the standard HTTP response status codes to format an appropriate message. We use the data name in these messages, so instead of just data not found, we create a message that says vehicle data not found. Feel free to add more messages here for other status codes. For the full list of valid HTTP response status code, see the links section of this video's description. Going back to the service, we want to use our new function to provide a user-friendly error message to our component. We'll create a computed signal called error message. In the arrow function, call our new setErrorMessage function. We could pass in this .vehiclesResource.error, but we already defined a signal for that here, so we can use this .error instead. Be sure to open the box to read the error from the signal. And we see a syntax error. That's because the resourceRef error signal type is unknown, and our function expects a type of HTTP error response. Use the as clause to set the type as HTTP error response. Optionally, pass in the name to use when referring to the data in the error message. I'll pass in vehicle since we are retrieving vehicle data. Our last step is to display this error message in the template. In our vehicle selection component, add an error message property that references this .vehicleservice.errorMessage. Scrolling up, add an else if here. We only want to display an error if the error message signal has a value. If so, we display the error message. I'll create a div, style it red so the user notices it. Then an error occurred. Use interpolation to display the value of the error message signal. And we see the error on our page. Notice that it says vehicle data. A more specific message gives the user, and possibly the support team, more information. Going back to the service, let's also expose the error status. That way the component could provide logic or display a more specific error message based on the HTTP response status code. Define an error status computed signal, read the error signal value, and access its status property. And we see a syntax error. That darned unknown type. We'll again use the as clause to set the appropriate type as HTTP error response and add parentheses. We can now access the status code from our template if needed. Feel free to try that out. Let's do one more thing. If we plan to expose several error properties, it may make sense to coerce the error from unknown to HTTP error response right away. Change the error to a computed signal, read the signal, and use the as clause to set the appropriate type. Now the error property is a signal of HTTP error response. Then we don't need the as clause here or here. Reformatting a bit. And that looks better. We expose the error itself, a reformatted error message, and the HTTP response status code. As we finish, be sure to remove the extra characters from the URL. We see our loading indicator and no error. Our list of vehicles was retrieved successfully. Bottom line, use the error property of rxResource to react to HTTP errors. Yet another nice feature of the rxResource API. Thanks for watching. If this content was useful, please like and subscribe.